Good afternoon, everyone. It's been a while. Um, and I've been away for, I think it's 16 days, maybe 17. I had to go home for an emergency. Oh, well, my close family member passed away, and so I went home for the funeral. And then because the ticket is so expensive to go home, the train ticket, I decided to spend some time with my family as well, since I hadn't seen them since my sister's wedding in October, and I'm not sure when I'll get back again. So I stayed a little while, so I haven't had any new videos. I came home Saturday, late Saturday evening. I think I was home by 10 o'clock at night. Sunday, I was just, I'm exhausted. I'm still exhausted. And my suitcase is half unpacked. I have a baby shower coming this Saturday, so I have baby products around. I got to get that finished up, get things wrapped up. And then my birthday was February 3rd, and I was away for it. So nothing much exciting happened for my 55th birthday. It was a pretty everyday life thing. And I came home, and the people that I rent my little space down in the basement from, they had a little birthday dinner for me yesterday. But during the day, I help. Some of the ways I cut my cost in help with my living expenses is I do all the cooking upstairs for them to help him out with the baby, because he works long hours, and by the time he picks up his son and everything, so I cook for them upstairs to help. And so we went grocery shopping, because of course I do all the grocery shopping. So I had to restock the house, and then I came home, and I think I sat for 30 minutes, and they invited another friend over, and we had nachos and cake and that. So I got back downstairs, I think at 8:30, had a half an hour, and the little boy I hadn't put down with his quiet time before bed for a while, and he asked me to come upstairs, so we went and did that. Then I had a long, very hot bubble bath. Just something for me. And then came downstairs and I started to brainstorm. Um, I'm I'm brainstorming, and what happens when I brainstorm, I have so many things that I want to do, and things to show you, and da 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 da, and I don't know where to begin sometimes, and that's my biggest problem. Now we are going to be a dedication to clusters for a little bit. We're going to make different types of clusters. I'm going to be making a bit of a throw together journal, and it's going to be called a cluster journal. And because what I'm going to do in that journal, it's not going to be something I'm going to sell. I'm going to keep it as a sample that I can look back in ways and different things. So this is going to be a sample, and it is a journal you can create, and I'll probably do a few of these later in time. It's a cluster journal where pockets are clusters, everything is clusters in it throughout it, along with your papers. So we're going to be popping in and out of that to show you different ideas, how clusters can be used, everything. We're doing everything. I love clusters. It's one of my favorite things to do. And clusters can be used on so many different things in different ways. So we're going to walk through it all, and I'm going to take my time doing it. And I haven't set up a schedule yet. I'm going to try to do that. I got to just look at everything for the week. This week it's kind of going to be, my videos are just going to be thrown on for now. Hopefully by mid-week, going into probably Friday, I'll have more of a schedule laid out so that I can I'll take a picture of it or a video, and I'll pause it for a minute, and you can pause the thing, screen in, and take a shot if you want. That's what I'm hoping to do by Friday, as I try to organize everything I want to do, because I have all kinds of ideas, and now I'm just trying to get it formatted. I get so excited. But what I thought today, we'll do some things. So you need to maybe start putting things together that you can use in clusters. Now, I am going to try my best to use as much variety as possible, but there's some things I don't have that you may have. And there's going to be things that I have that you don't have. So gather what you can up. I'm going to try to give some ideas today, things that you can start looking at to put in your clusters. Now, I'm just going to show you a few clusters. As you can see, I've got some here. I keep clusters on hand at all times. It's something I'm constantly, even sometimes when I'm working on a journal, if I get a few, I start ripping paper, I do this. I'll paper clip the paper together and just leave it like that. It's not stapled, it's nothing. It's just because sometimes you just get a bunch of stuff on your desk. So, but as you can see, ones with just fabric, we're going to work on fabric clusters, punch how to use maybe some shapes in clusters. And so these are different clusters I have already made. I'm just going to put them in the bowl as I show you. We're going to make large clusters, teeny clusters. We're going to make all kinds of different sizes. We're going to do some belly band clusters, which I don't have a lot of right now. I have a small one. This I would use more just as a page decoration. We'll do different sizes of those. So like different, the inches or 2 inches, depending on if you do a swap. I have a few of these. I did a swap with them, and so I was having so much fun making these because I'd never made them before. So we'll probably do something like that, both maybe squares and circles, because I love doing that as well. So it's just different things. Sometimes it's just simple paper and a stamp. So we're going to do all kinds of different types of clusters. I'm just showing you a variety of ones that I've done. Oh, there's another one of those. There's a circle one. And we're just going to have some will be really simple. Some might be more elaborate. That's up to you. I like to use these as tabs. And sometimes I put a button there. It just depends. Sometimes I like it just like that. So it just depends. So I always keep I'll make a bunch of these and not decorate them fully like with an image, a focal point, because I just like having them ready to go. And depending on what I have on that page, I might go ahead. So sometimes I have those made up. So we're going to do some of that. So there's a lot I have planned for us. Now, I was looking around because, you know, we all know basically what a cluster is. Oops, I just dropped a million papers on the ground. I tell you, my place is in a shambles because even I left so quickly and I wanted to take some stuff with me to work on. So I was just pulling things out. Now, a cluster, when I was looking around, is for paper. Like there's clusters of people, clusters on webs, but for what we're doing, it's a cluster, a group of similar things occurring closely together. So, and it can be as many layers you want. Sometimes I never usually have 2 layers. 3 and more is usually what I go with. I don't know why I closed that. See, even in my workbook, sometimes I'll play around and put a cluster. So, and this one I did it directly on because I just stamped right onto the paper. So that was me just playing in. This is my workbook. And so that day, for some reason, that's what I did. So that is going to be our thing, and we're gonna do more of that for a while. We're gonna work on ephemera, things that we can use in journals, but with clusters, it's going to be that's why I went with it first, because it can be used in so many ways. So things that you might want to start to gather up. Now, with me, the first thing I use, of course, and this is just a small basket, but scraps. We're going to use, of course, most clusters are scraps, right? Oh, see, look there's a pocket of clusters sitting in there. So I always have clusters everywhere. I think I was getting ready to send that as a little gift. So, you know, having your scraps, you know, that, of course, is that thing that most of us use for clusters. Now, I always do this. Sometimes I'll take and make different book page sizes and have them ready for my clusters or type thing. So that's a nice, simple thing that we all have. Most of us always have... I don't have this open. of course, this is a terrible one. I love the container, so I'll keep using them, but it's not easy to open. So, of course, we all have buttons, right? So, and this is just a small amount of my buttons. I've got jars and jars of buttons. So those are things we always have on hand. Most of us all have scraps, buttons. Then I have my laces, but this is a lot of my scraps. This is usually what I use in my clusters. So fabric, different laces. I'm assuming this was sent to me as a gift, and I've been trying to find more of it because I love using. I'm assuming they were part of tablecloths and lace curtains. I found lace curtains when I was home, and I was at Salvation Army, and this is how crazy it's got in Canada, even at Salvation Army. And they had lace curtains. They had no price anywhere on them. I go up to the cash, and they were going to charge me $10 a panel. And they weren't big curtains. They were for small windows. $20 it would have cost me. And I'm not paying $20 for used curtains and at Salvation Army. Yes, it goes for a good cause, but I just have this thing now. Even there's certain ones we have Value Village here in Canada. I will not shop at Value Village. First of all, it's overpriced. The CEO makes a ton of money. It's the same with Goodwill. I try to stay out of Goodwill. I try to go to ones that are actually giving back to the community, like Salvation Army. And the other one we have here in Canada is called Mission Thrift Stores, that is run by the church. And everybody that works there is volunteer. And all the money goes back into the community to help with food banks and different areas that is needed. So those are usually my to-go ones. Occasionally I go to Goodwill because I can find bags, usually of scrap paper, stamps and that. But I never walk into Value Village. Once I learned what these CEOs were making, so different fabrics, laces. This is kind of my scraps, right? And also things that I threw in here, like these little purple fabric flowers. I have some hearts. I don't use these a lot because I don't like the button, because I don't like a big, but these are great for the front of a collage on the front of a journal when you're making a cover. I have some, this was sent to me. I got to use that in a journal soon. So, different things like that, appliques, which I don't have a lot of. I can't find them here without going, and I don't have a fabric store where I live. And this, again, it was sent to me in a happy mail. So, as you can see, I cut some up, and I'm getting desperate because that's all I have left. But I love using this in let me see, I probably buried those ones to the bottom on myself. I did. Of course I did. But that's okay. So that's other things. This shouldn't be in here, so let me pull that out. So different types of, not just lace, but ribbon, different ribbons. So have that. I've got some tools sitting in here. This was the only tool I ever owned. And I never used to use tool. And then I started getting things done with tool. And I was like, oh, wow, that's really nice. I've got different ribbon that someone sent me. Sometimes I take the burgundy off and use just that, because I don't, and then I'll use this separately because this is great to tie a bow and use. So sometimes I do that. So, there, good. I found another piece. So that's this mishmash box that I need to clean up, because I pull things out, throw things back in, and I sometimes forget to go and tidy it. So pull out your scraps. This isn't necessarily a scrap, but I'll still cut from it. These ribbons, I don't use a lot of curvy, but sometimes if you stretch these out, you can pull the threads and they lay flatter. So I use those quite often. I go every once in a while and I grab some of my material that I've been blessed with over the past year. A lot of times I'll put scraps of material. Still, things I'm needing is scrap material. So that's one of the things that almost all of us have as junk journalers. Lately, I never used it, but I'd never had any of it. So different, and this was given to me. I came home and my friend's mother does Stampin' Up, and she used to buy paper from other companies, and she won't do that anymore. Now she only uses Stampin' Up. She sent a huge bag full. I should have kept it close by to show you all the scrapbook paper she gave me. But she also had this textured paper in it. I thought, oh, these are going to be great. I'm not going to tear this up. I might end up trying to work this into a journal. The way it's done, it's so beautiful. So I was blessed with this beautiful, and I got some on order with my Amazon. For my birthday, I got an Amazon gift certificate, so I'm getting some more textured paper because this is great. Not only to use, like this one in my purple journal, this would be beautiful in it. So when I cut it down, then I'll have the scraps, right? So even this, I would probably just fold it over, and then exactly what I'm going to do, and I'll take my, what I usually do is take a, oh, I don't have one handy. Of course, when I say that, I don't have one handy. Because a lot of times my big scrapbook papers, I'll take them down to this size. So what I'll do is measure it out, cut it, and then this will be what I can use in clusters. Sorry guys, lost my words. Right? So a lot of those, that'll do that. Won't that be a pretty page in? And like it's got the sticker on it. I could put a cluster there or take that off carefully. And it's even the other side of it is beautiful paper. So that's what I'll be doing with that. But I'll be measuring those out and taking that paper as scraps. Anybody ever, one of my new things that I'm going to be putting to Wish for is that type of paper, because I can't find any. I found one set on our Amazon Canada and I can't find any more. Now, other things that some of you may have, this is always something I always ask for, is embossed paper. Because the one thing I think I really want is some music papers with embossing on. Again, there's some more of that textured paper I love. So I'm always, so I've been blessed with that. So, and I was asking for it so that I can use it in that. So those are things you can use. Those that are fortunate enough, and one day soon, hopefully I'll have one, is if you have die cuts. These are, I've been blessed with. Some really nice ladies sent me these beautiful die cuts. So, you can pull out your die cuts. You know what I want some, I don't have a big scallop punch, and I want a big scallop. Let me see if I can show you. I want it like this, but this is the only size I have. I want it a bit larger. And I'm trying to find one. I checked Amazon today and there's not one. Amazon Canada, unfortunately, we don't have as much as in the States. But I want that because they're great for using for clusters. So your punches, I didn't pull out all my punches. Now, other things you can do, I won't go into the things that I digitally print yet. Because not everybody has a printer. I do, and unfortunately, those that don't have it, I will be using digitals. So I will be using my different types of digital printouts. Unfortunately, I like using them, and I know I didn't have it at first. I had to invest in it, and it took me time. Like this is kind of the size I'm hoping to find. I have this, and I thought of tracing it, but I can't imagine cutting that out. I'm going to trace a few. This is a tag, and I'm going to trace a few of this shape out because I like the square edge for some of the bigger ones as a base. So I might do something like that. We're going to use index cards, so you can start coloring index cards. So I have to do some more pink. I've done some yellow. Because I sell these, because I do packages of yellow different colors, and I put in like colored doilies. These I put certain types of paper, and so these are some of them I have left over, and this one. So these can as well, we're going to be using, I'll show you how we're going to use those in clusters. So get out your, and you can find these at a dollar store. Grab some and color them up to the colors you like. I like keeping a variety of colors because we all make journals in different colors. I'm short on pink because it's what I use a lot of. So that's things, and it's inexpensive to grab that at the dollar store. And you can use inks, you can use acrylic paints. I will show you more of that. It's one of the things that I'm going to do and show you how to maybe color some. But most of us know that. I just watched a lady, and I forget her name right now, who did some acrylic paints. She showed how to use this acrylic paints and how to use actual paint, thicker paints, watercolors and acrylics. So she used other things that I do, and I have to make some more, is I pull out my stencils, and I pull out my paste, texture paste, and I add color to it, and I stencil. And sometimes I'll use that whole page in a journal like this, or on a tag. Sometimes I'll turn that into a tag, but you can always tear them like this, scraps, and put some texture paste on it, and it just adds. This one didn't turn out really well, but I'm not going to waste it. Same, this almost looks like it's embossed, but it's textured paint. I'm trying to see if I can, maybe I need to take that brown paper so it can be better seen. I can't really see my thing, so I'm trying not to get too close. So, and that's just a plain white on some paper, and it was a scrap. So I used some scraps. This was a scrapped digital, and again, I just colored the paste and stenciled it on it. Paper bag. So these are things that you can use as well. So you can make some of those. The other thing I started making, oh, see, there, I have lots of little scraps. I started doing this with watercolors, where I paint sometimes scraps, just different strokes. And these are fun to use. This is, I use just gesso on this and stencil with some color. So you can do different things. If you're a good doodler, you could do some doodling. That's what this was. It was a something I took last year, and I didn't complete it, unfortunately. But she basically did watercolor dots and then just drew on them. So that's another thing you can do if you want to add color. So, and look, this was done with a pencil eraser top, and I just plopped it. So don't be afraid to make some different. I did squares. So there again, there's another one of those where I used just the gesso and some color and a stencil. It's got a bit of different texture to it. So pull out your paints and make yourself some papers to use in your clusters. So that's something else you can use. And this is, most of us have paints on hand. And if not, you can go to the dollar store and grab some watercolored paints. Even on Amazon, they're really cheap. Here in Canada, I think I paid $9.99, and I'm sure they're probably even cheaper for you guys in the States, because your Amazon prices are a little bit better than ours and more variety. So those are things you can use. Pull out your different beads and dots and pearls, the glittery ones. They're all wonderful to use. So, you know, pull out some of those. So those are things we're going to be using. These I always keep on hand hanging close by. I don't have to, because you can't leave everything on your desk, right? It's too much. So those are different things on hand you might have. This is another colored paper I did. It was something new for me. And they took, basically she took like a square bucket. I don't even know if I have it close by. I don't. It was a plastic bucket you buy that has a lid for storage. And you throw different colored paints in it, and then you splosh the paper in it. So I made all these papers up using some different scraps, and then sometimes I would just fold it and get some different designs. These would be beautiful in clusters as well. So I made myself, some of it's just photocopy paper, right? And I just semi-colored both sides. This is just a piece of scrap of some kind of line paper. This is just line paper I pulled out, book pages, and I just threw different paints, and I use this one that is out of stock and forever at Amazon. I did some Lindsay, so there's some bronzy. I'm like really hoarding this right now, not using it much as I usually do because I'm waiting for it to come back in stock. It's been almost 6 months before. And you can make your own paper if you like things like this. So, and I made them in different sizes, different scraps, and I just threw it in there, and some of them stuck together because that's how they dried. So that's something else you can do. Make your own colored paper if you like, to use in your in your clusters. This isn't really my big style. I'm trying a new journal that I haven't worked on in a while. This is how it was. And so sometimes I fold it over and smoosh it, right? So that was a big piece I did along with scraps. Like this, I took the book page, right? So, but these can be fun to use and add a little color if you're looking to add color. So that's another idea. You could make yourself some of this, and if you want, but grab out different papers you have, or you might have other ways you make art paper. Good idea to use as well. I'm going to put that on top of that. Okay. Paper napkins. I just happen to have this one sitting on my desk. So they would be good in cluster. I've not used them in clusters, so that might be one of the things where we grab out napkins, and I'll look at different ways you can use it. Oh, I have a piece of lace in there. Shapes, like punched out shapes. I have circles. I always keep some ready-made. These were just, I hadn't put back into my box, so I can pull these out and use them as well in my clusters. So I always punch out and keep them on, especially sometimes when my scraps get overwhelmed. I'll do that and punch out some punched shapes. I don't have hearts punched up, but the hearts, so I have like 3 different heart punches. So then as well, you can pull out your, a lot of us buy these, the paper flowers. I have some burlap ones. So these are great if you have them to use in clusters. So pull those out. Those are wonderful. I bought these, but like any little bows you might have, those are great. I only have one of these left. Somebody sent it to me in Happy Mail, but these are cute too. This flower is supposed to be in here, so why don't I put it in its right place? So those are great to use. I'm just putting them back in their spot. They sit on my rolling tray. The napkin. So I even sometimes use tabs, and it's one of the things we're going to be doing is clusters, but that can become tabs. So we'll go more into that when I do that day. That should be in with my lace. I love using this. I have a small tag punch, so I use this also in my journals. So, and then of course I said buttons, but some people might have things like this where they're little harder plastic flowers, or different things like that. I only have the one. I think someone sent that to me. So this is just some buttons and random. Those flowers I have is because I used them on my sister's wedding invitation. So something, if you have those type of things, even different types of ribbon. I only have it in red because I bought scraps, but this is nice to use. It's not like lacy or like a silk ribbon, but that can add a nice little different texture. So think of all the ribbons you have and the different types of those type of things. Now, things that you may have on hand, washi tape. These were just sitting on my desk right here. I have, if you see how much washi tape I have. When I started out, before I did junk journaling, I did planning, and I went washi tape crazy, and I still love washi tape. I have not bought any because I'm telling myself I have to use up what I have, but boy, do I want to buy some washi tape. I bought some of these off of Ali, Shein, and these are great too to use. They're actually like cellophane type, so if you have those, they're great. I bought a few different ones. This isn't really my style, but I use some of them. I got it as a gift. Then I have these ones. So pulling these out, you can use, because I think these ones are stickers. So if you have anything like that, it can be used as well. So look at what you have. I'm not going to leave them in the basket like this. It was just when I was putting the idea together, I put it there so that easy to pull out. If you have liquid pearls, I've only got 3 of these. Again, it's funny the things that are hard to get here. No, I have 4, because I splurged a year ago or so, and went to scrapbook.com and ordered those 4 for myself. The reason I say I splurged, because scrapbook.com is in US, and if you know anything about it, US dollar isn't as strong as Canada dollar, so it costs me more per dollar. So your dollar, usually I pay, can be anywhere to 15 cents to $1.25. So I have to add that to each dollar. Sometimes it's even higher. I think one time it was at 1.32. So $1 US costs me $1.32. When you say it as 1.32, it doesn't sound, but if you're looking at $10 or $20, that 32 cents adds up. So I splurged one time and bought myself these colors. Now I need some more colors. I need a purple. That's one I'm really looking for. I bought turquoise because I was working on a journal for my niece in turquoise. Pink because I like pink. I want a lighter pink. Rose gold again because I love rose gold. And black. I don't know why I bought black. I think I had something I was working on, but the black does, even within thing, it looks really nice. So those are wonderful if you have sprays, because even on a cluster, you could do a little spritz on it. I'm now wonderfully blessed from Mandy. She sent me a bottle of glossy accents. So now that can be used in your clusters to add texture to your clusters. I pulled these out because I'm going to use these. This was a snippet roll I started but never finished. So I pulled them out because I can cut them and use them as a base. So I pulled those out because I'm going to use those up. So I pulled things out of my stock that I know that I want to use up. Other thing that's great too, and we'll use them throughout, is paper and fabric ruffles. Right now I'm very low on, I don't have any fabric. I don't have a sewing machine. I'm saving for one. And I have on my Ko-fi, if you want to bless me, you can go to, I'll have it linked down below, and you can go and bless me $2, whatever you would like, as it helped me save for my sewing machine. Because I love how sewing looks on things. I won't do it on everything, but I really like it. So people have blessed me with these wonderful paper clusters. So these are great to use. I don't have a sewing machine, but I do make my own cluster paper ruffles, and I'll show maybe one day how I make them without. I just use double-sided tape. Sometimes I don't think I have. I bought a stitch stamp so it looks like it's stitched. And then sometimes I'll put washi down the front of this to add some design into. So I make mine without. So these are ones I made, and I make them in different sizes because I like sometimes I'll use this as a tab. So I make my paper ruffles in different sizes. However, mine don't have that beautiful sewed look to it. So those you can use, and maybe I'll show you how to, I mean, it's not hard to do. It's just paper folded over basically. And I use double-sided tape to hold it because it kind of holds that together. That's all I did. So, you know, those are some things we can use in it. If you're like me, I love stamps. Stamps, 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 stamps. I love them. So I do different ways of stamping. Sometimes I stamp on a piece of paper. This one here, it was a piece of colored paper. It was done in greens because I was doing a nature journal that someone ordered, and I splashed some white paint and I stamped on it. And it's just, I ripped the paper out around the same with that and used a stamped. I think I have that in here that didn't really focus on it, but see where it's just a torn piece of paper, and I actually stamped on the background as well as there. So stamps are amazing to use in it as well. These ones I just pulled out because they're torn. So I have like different stamp butterflies. This is the torn ones. I started doing a few of those. That's just a leaf. So whatever you have, I do these ones that I haven't used yet in a cluster, and put the butterfly. So, you know, or like this one, I did a circle punch, and this flower stamp happens to be one of my favorites, and I stamped. So that'll look really pretty. Let me pull out one of those half done clusters I have somewhere down here, which I thought were down here. Where did I put all those? Am I losing? I had them all here. Oh, they're beside me. So like something like that could sit just on the cluster. So we're going to be doing, so if you got stamped images, pull out your stamped images. So I always keep these because I sell them. So I always have, some days I go through my scraps and I punch out to keep on hand. So pull out your stamped. I haven't done it because I don't have it. This is my next thing I need to buy myself, is some fabric like this. I think it's muslin. And someone sent me some stuff stamped on it. So that someone sent me, and I got to pull it out from the bottom because I keep forgetting. Someone stamped on me some, on pattern paper, some stamps. So, you know, these are things you could make yourself as well. I never thought of doing this. I need to go and buy some of this, and because it looks really nice stamped on there. And you could tear around it or fussy cut it. All depends on one. So take things that you may have and create some things to use in clusters. Now, also for me, I'm going to use, I make these paper flowers. I don't know where I put them. Oh, here they are. Which I do sell. I just haven't. But you can, if you make, so paper flowers. I know I've gifted some people with these as well. But I sell these as well. So they're like, I do them with colored and digital, and I do it with music paper and that. So you can see I have some here, and then I make these ones with a different type of with a heart punch. So something like that you can use if you have them. I'm not good at this, and I've got to practice it some more. I'm not good at tearing a circle like that. And this one didn't turn out because it's just a sample I have, and I got to work on this. But making your own circle paper flowers is another thing you can do. So that's there. Other things some people might have on hand. This is some, and I don't have many, and I'm back because I hoard these. But I always put these on my wish list. I don't have any of this yet. This is my next investment. Right now I'm saving. There's a few things I want to invest in. I want a die cut, and I want a sewing machine, and I want to buy this stuff. So, you know, you have to pick and choose. But I've been fortunate because I've been blessed. Chriselle sends me some for wishes, Like this one, I don't even know who sent this, and I wished I would remember, but it's so beautiful. And I haven't used it because I'm hoarding it. But wax seals, for those that make them, they're beautiful in clusters as well. So I've been blessed. That's my ones I've been blessed with and been hoarding. I think I've only probably used 2 because I keep hoarding them. So that's something else. I don't have a lot of this. I don't use a lot of this. But stickers, for those that don't have digitals, a printer, and they don't print digitals, I think that's why I don't, because I have a printer. But I love these butterflies. They're stickers, flower stickers. I bought these because I thought they were pretty. So if you have stickers, pull out your stickers. They can be used, especially if you don't have, something just fell. I don't know what just fell. Oh, one of my music books. So pull out your stickers if you have stickers. I never used to use tulle. I told you I had that one white piece, and then I ordered a piece of tulle from Ali, and I love it. And then when I was in Guelph, we went to Goodwill, but this is the only thing I walked out with, was these brand new rolls of tulle. So I'm so excited because now I've got some beautiful tulle to use in my clusters and other things too, tags and things like that. And I paid $5.49 for the bag. And I know for a fact these are bought at our Dollarama. The big ones here are $3 each. So that's $6 right there. And these are from Michael's, and I think they run roughly around $5 at Michael's. So I have already made my money back from what I bought at Goodwill, and now I have, and I loved it because it was pretty much the colors I use a lot in. The only thing I would have liked is this is more of a turquoisey, maybe more of a harvesty green, a different, I want to see more of a nature green than a turquoise. That's the only other color, and maybe a brown or beiges. So just a couple more other colors I want in the tulle. A gold, a silver, But I lucked out, and I'm so happy. That was my great purchase. I didn't buy a lot for myself. There wasn't much at the Goodwills or any of the thrift stores I went to. They were pretty empty. So I got that wonderful. So tulle, if you have that on hand, is great to use. What other things was I thinking? I was trying to think of everything. I make homemade buttons, so I use those a lot in my clusters. So that's what I will use as my homemade buttons. And again, I do sell those on my site. Something I have to get back in using, and because I put it too far back on my counter. I drink tea all the time. So, and I've got some drying upstairs again. But these are great too if you want a texture. And I stopped using them because I put them too far back on my shelf. So I pulled these out, and I'm going to leave them on my desk, my filming desk. But I mean, I cut them open and drained the tea out once it dried, and then there you go. It can be used in a cluster. So tea bags, coffee filters is another great thing you can tear up and use. Especially, I have brown ones, but if you tea dye the white ones, they look really nice. I don't have any tea dyed white ones. I would have to buy some, I think. We don't have a coffee machine here. The gentleman upstairs usually does instants, or he uses a fancy French press for his coffee. So tea bags are great. Even when you're tea dyeing, after you've done your tea dyeing, and you take the bags, lay them out, let them dry, empty the tea out, and you've got another nice thing to use in your thing. And I think, and again, you can use different threads, yarns. I don't really have a lot of yarns. Eyelash trim, all that stuff will coordinate into it. So think of things. I have scrappy hearts that I will use in some of mine, and I did them in some smaller hearts as well. I have these that I make using scraps and punches. So I will use some of those. So just think of things that you have. And a little bit better is if you have little baskets like this one's hard and I won't use it because I'll keep these just sitting on the desk. But pull out some things like I'm going to leave. Well, these always stay like that. But for instance, my little papers, I'm going to basically take and stack my baskets. And then I'll keep it for my cluster making. So these are things I plan to use in my clusters. The same with this. I'm going to take and put the shapes in the right place. But I'm going to pull out some of my napkins and I'm going to leave it in the basket. And then when I'm making them, I have what I want to use. So like these that I pulled out. And I have another roll of it, I think. Let me just check. My digitals, my fussy cut digitals are always on my desk. If you have magazines, you could fussy cut magazines. I don't have that. Books, you could fussy cut if you have that. Let me pull out. All of that can be used. Whatever you have on hand and can use. I can't get magazines here without paying a fortune. When I went to the thrift store, I had seen I can't even say it right now, National Geographic, and they were charging $10 a book. I couldn't do that. But see, I have also this one I started and I never finished. So again, and I only got that far, and what this is I took all my receipts and I glued them together, and I took a toilet paper roll and I rolled it onto it. So that's how I made that. I reused my receipts and then I just glue paper on it. So I'm going to pull out and use some of that up too. I should make one and show you how to make. I'm going to put that down on my thing to do, to show you how I do that receipt roll. And yes, I have a paper clip because once I tie it up tight, I paper clip it here. So whatever you have that you can use. I was thinking something else, and I'll just show you quickly. I do have more stickers because I was gifted from friends of mine for my stocking, not this year, last year, these neat little stickers. So I have those stickers, and in that came like little cards, and you can also buy the Tim Holtz die cuts. A lot of you have those. I only have one. Right? So, and some of you might have those stickers. Those can be used. Like I'll use all of this scrapbooking paper. Now, these were, I bought some and some were gift. You get them like this, and I love them because they're already ready to be used in clusters, right? So I got some as gift and some. So if you have things like that, pull it. Oops, they come like this, and this is so beautiful. I'm going to make a cluster on this envelope and cover that up, and there's a great envelope, and it comes like that. That's how the paper comes, and it's so beautiful, this paper. Oh, I love it. So I'm going to use some of that up. I'm just going through what I have to show you. Again, this is more stickers that I'm going to try to use some of these up because I don't use them often enough. I have this beautiful package. I opened it, but I don't think I used any of them. So what I might do is get myself a little... I have to buy some more of these because I love them. A little bowl, and pull some of these stickers out so that I use them. I got gifted these. Look at how beautiful they are. And how beautiful. It's like little framed. They'll be perfect. And so see what you have that maybe you put somewhere, like me. And yeah, you put them, I put them, they're not far from me. I just sometimes don't think about them because, and I have these circle ones here of world map, right? So you know, go through your stuff, see what you have, make yourself a little pile of things that you maybe want to use up. Like I want to use that up. I'm going to pull some of these up because I want to use some of them up. Again, I told you I cut things out. These were some die things that were gifted to me. So, you know, I've got circles in here. I know someone made this, sent me these scalloped ones. That's what I'm looking for. Maybe a little smaller, but you know, so pull out what you have. You know, I forgot I even had these, right? So I can use some of this, and I punched out some in glitter. So look at what you have and, you know, pull it out, put it in a basket. This is what I'm using up in my clusters. So just start thinking what you have around. Like I'm telling you, I have things in my cookie jars, my cookie cans. I save these because they're great. Again, that's more of the stuff I've been gifted or bought. Those beautiful papers, right? I think because they're in this and it's not clear, I don't see it. But then they're sitting in the clear too, and these are different stickers again, and that I can be using up. So my goal is to use some of these up as well and stop hoarding. So just, this is the back of an envelope. Look at that. If I don't want to use the gold, it's on the white. So I use envelopes, paper bags, anything like that. Wrapping paper. I'm trying to think of everything. See, I've got like this, you know, if you have, this is wrapping paper. This one I probably won't. It was sent to me and it's waiting for, I don't know what to use it in. I love it. And I don't know how to use it. I'm just grabbing some things out of my stock right now. Like, pull out your stuff that maybe you've forgotten about. Because doing this, that's kind of what happened is I found this stuff, right? I'm sliding out of my chair because I'm leaning forward. I just went into my thing under my desk. So tissue paper, I have it in gold. Someone sent me this paper. I hoard it because this is all I've got. I don't know what paper they used or how they did this, but it's all crinkled. It looks like it was pressed that way. Some of this I need to pull out and use in some of my clusters. Actually, I think I'll leave that one out. I get tons of this from my Scentsy packing, so I save it. I stamp on this. I use it in clusters. So, you know, just go through your stuff. Paper bags. I have a lot of paper bags. Again, see? Someone sent me this beautiful textured paper and I've got it sitting in there. I need to put it where I can see it. I forget sometimes to go digging because I try to put everything so neat and organized. Let me just pull out that folder and see what else is in there, since it seems to be having some neat things in it. But see, more of that packing, wrapping paper. This is tissue paper. And I didn't throw the packaging off because I thought that was really nice on... Oh, you can't see what I'm showing you. Sorry. This was how the tissue paper came. But I didn't throw it away because, one, I can use this paper as well. You know, I can cut those flowers out. So I didn't throw this away. And this was the tissue paper that came in it. Beautiful tissue paper. Again, so tissue paper works beautiful in clusters. So just go through. I'm going to be eventually cutting up some of this and ripping some of this up. This paper someone sent me. I don't even know what it came in, but first of all, I'm going to cut it in some into that I can fold over and just use as a journal page. But some I want to tear up and use into scraps. So, like, go through your stuff, see what you have that you forgot was sitting in your, when you organized, which is what I did. I bought a cute little file thing that sits under my desk. Let me stick all this back away. So pull out some of that paper. I'm going to do that later. tonight I'm going to pull that paper up and get it ready. I'm trying to see what else. I think that's about it. Paper bags, I said. Doilies. You know, book pages, music papers, your scraps. Anything you can think of, use. Oh, this chair is too tall for me and I fall out of it. So have fun. I didn't think I had bought some of this and I cut it out. This is great in clusters too. I'm just looking at. So if you have this type of stuff there, I bought this, it was a table runner. And so I just cut them off and I use them up. This is the only trim I have of flowers. So someone sent me that and I've been saving, I think Anita sent that to me. I've been saving it to put on the front of a journal. Doilies, because you can cut your doilies up. You know, like there's nothing like cutting this off and putting that as a scrap. You can, so pull out some of your doilies. See, I have this, again, I cut clip, 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 and I use the big circles and small circles. Right, so look in what you have. I have these ones are really flimsy, but again, I thought maybe I'll cut off the webbing or whatever. So go through your stuff. This is all stuff that can be used in your journals that you have around. Trims, lace, whatever, because we're going to do different types. Doilies, pull out your doilies, pull out your coffee filters. I'm using my coffee filter. I only have one dyed coffee filter. Ugh. I think it's in here. I just want to stack it. It was papers I was putting together for a journal. Did I put it in here? Yeah. So, like, if I had more of this nice dyed coffee filter, I would tear it up. But this is going, I folded it to go in the journal. Doilies. They don't have to necessarily be just tea dyed. They can be white if you want. They can be, I colored doilies using my ink. I put it on here and wet it. Right? So, I'm just going to put that back over there. That's a journal I'm making. So I was just, well, parts of it is for the cluster journal I'm going to be put together as my sample. So, which I'm probably going to show you my choice of papers before I put anything in it. And then after a while, I'll probably fill up some. So just go and pull out things that you want to use and get ready. I'm anxious right now because I just pulled all this stuff out. I want to sit now and just make clusters. But I really need to do organizing, right? So just grab some stuff and get ready. If you have digital tickets, you know, you might have the regular tickets. What you got, use up. Pull it out. You know, different digitals. In my bowl here, I threw my clusters in for now. And I have, this is a stamp and I tore it. And it makes a nice, interesting, but in here, so, you know, I have some are digitals, some are stickers that I've been gifted. Stickers, a ticket, this is like from like a Tim Holtz package. Again, this was part of a Tim Holtz paper, and on it had all these different sizes, so I cut them out into squares. So even that you can fussy cut around your scrapbooking paper. So just think of things that you can use. So, and just gather it up, and get ready for our, I want to say a month. I'm not sure how long we're going to work on clusters. There's so many different types of clusters, many ways we're going to use them. We're going to do so much about clusters. And with doing the clusters, we're going to make pockets. We're going to make tags. So we're going to be making page tabs. We're going to be making Right now I'm having a mental block, the belly band clusters. So not only are we going to be making clusters like this, but we're going to use clusters in other ways. So there's a lot that I want to do. Okay. But we might start off simple with small clusters and just work our way and play around. So, I'm probably tomorrow, I'm trying to do a video every day, but that's not always possible depending on what else. On Mondays, I have to start back to Merry Monday. So on Monday next week, I'll be probably doing clusters for Christmas for my Merry Monday and building some clusters. But then I have like Tag Tuesday. So I might, tomorrow might not be so much clusters, but tags. So different things like that, because I'm not ready to go into cluster tag yet. I want to start small. So I have things I'm already doing, like I have Scrappy Saturdays that I got to get back. So again, probably with Scrappy Saturdays, we'll be doing clusters with that. So the different things I have already going, I'm going to try to intertwine the clusters in with it. But I also want to have some, I want to have some other interesting things in there too, because some people may not like clusters, right? But I don't know why you wouldn't. So thank you for joining me today. As you can tell, I'm talking a mile a minute. I'm excited. I'm happy. I love being with my family, but I got bored because I had no crafting space, nothing to craft in. I couldn't make videos. So I'm just like, I found my energy just doing this video. So I'm ready to go, guys. I'm hyper. I'm excited. And I want to also, before I go anywhere, I think I'm at 349 subscribers. At the last time I looked. At the beginning of January, I was at 51. I was shooting by my birthday, which would have been February 3rd, which was February 3rd, to have, I was hoping for 100. Now, my goal by the end of February is to get 500 subscribers. I am so thankful for everybody who has subscribed. I'm thankful for those comments and those likes, because the more you comment, the more you like, it brings my videos up more often for people to catch them and see them when they're searching. So I really do appreciate when you comment and like my videos. And I love when you subscribe. I also have, down below, you can, just down below, you'll see like, subscribe, da-da-da-da. I also will have my Purple Heart Creations by Chrissy, which is where I sell my stuff. Located down before. This is a project, this cluster is a project that I am almost a teaching, but more of a craft along with me, is doing with Junk Journal Craft and Chat. It is a chat group that I run in Facebook. I will have the link down below for you to come and join us there. Because along with this, I'm going to be doing some swaps here and there. So join us for that. I also will have my Ko-Fi, I think it's a thing, where I have a few things for sale in there as well. But I also have where you can buy me a coffee, or you can support my purchase of a sewing machine. So join, and my Instagram I will have below. My Instagram, I'm still getting into the habit of it. I'm still a little slow on it, but I'm working on it. I'm getting better. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate each one of you who subscribes. I appreciate your comments, your likes. It means the world to me. This is something I'm trying to grow to support myself because of physical problems I'm having right now. I can't work. So everyone who has blessed me, I'm just so thankful. I'm so thankful. I'm thankful for when I get happy mail to help with running my business. I'm thankful for the likes. Every little bit helps, and I appreciate it. And I just want to let you know that. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for your support. And on that, I will say have a wonderful afternoon, and I'll be back tomorrow with Tag Tuesday. Have a great afternoon and evening, everybody. Love you all.